Hello, I am Priscilla Batzel in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio Gallery, and this is a 14 by 14 inch canvas. And I'm putting some vivid intense white that has some vivid clear in it also onto my canvas before I begin trying to fill in a sky area. I'm going to grab an oxo omelet turning flip and fold spatula. I've got Elderberry, which is a new purely pigment. I'm a Colourarte affiliate, so we're going to use Colourarte colors for the most part. I've got some Lagoon Blue, another purely pigment. Doesn't seem to want to, whoop, hold the top right off. Got my plum blossom together. I'm going to throw in a little bit of Frostbite. And just to make it go further, a little bit of frosted berry. And we'll see how far that'll take us. I have a pale purple. I'm considering using some Titan light blue because I like my sky and I don't want to try and mix more paint again. I'm going to throw down a bunch of paint. If I have an edge catcher, that's Deco Art Americana 24 karat gold, and I'm just going to do something a little different. This is Fandango. Wintergreen. I forgot I wanted to use copper, but I've got some Emperor's Gold. This is Mayan gold with saffron. And I've got some Peacock Prizm pour. Who knows what's going to happen now? I have no idea. Here's my Emperor's Gold. I've got black raspberry. Which I probably should have shaken up a little more than I did. I've got a purely pigment, which is a sour apple and vivid, vibrant aqua. And I should have grabbed an edge catcher, but I will. Oh, they're right here. Cool. I'm not sure there's enough of that yet. Still planning on using my rubber tool. And probably adding more paint. I'm going to use a little more of the Deco Art Americana 24 karat gold. I think I want some more of the Peacock. I might want some more gold, but I'm going to definitely have some more green. And I keep being called to the deep amethyst. And the one thing I have plenty of is the Emperor's Gold. have to hit this with some heat. Let's go up and down. Now I can drag those colors down, and maybe I should do that. What that means is I've got some paint on there. I'm going to remove it with my OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula. Put it right back in the painting. Get rid of my edge catcher at least temporarily. Grab my large rubber tool. Maybe I'm going to hit this with a torch really quick. I want some black, I want some white, I want some gold. I'm not sure what the gold is. The purpose is probably not. Got some turquoise too, that's an interesting thought. Just playing fast and loose with paint. Not sure what I'm doing at all, but I want to try a whole bunch of different methods for using those rubber brushes before I declare that I've got it sussed. And that's not hurting my feelings any. I think I'm going to do it again. Got plenty of paint right on my rubber paddle. Kind of want to put some trees in there. I think I'm going to let everything flow up. If I'm lucky, it'll flow up and meet the sky. Let's give it a try. I want some more in the middle. So let's try some white. Why am I being called to the orange? I don't know. I'm going to use it anyway. Maybe it's flowers. I think I used too much cell activator, but it's probably going to dry okay. I'm sort of crossing my fingers and hoping that I'm right. It went from being a green hillside to some kind of desert scape. That's pretty cool, actually. I think I ought to stop before I overwork it, which I tend to do with these things. I'm going to have to fix my sky tomorrow because there's a few gaps and my edges aren't done. Yeah, I like the shapes in there. I'm going to stop. Hit it really quickly with a torch. Quite a few bubbles. I want to fix my sky now, but I can't. So I'm just going to enjoy it the way it is for the moment and come back tomorrow. I'll see you guys in a second, and it'll be tomorrow. Hi, I'm back, and this is dry, and I love it. Even the canvasy parts aren't really bothering me that much, so I'm not going to worry about the sky right now. I'm also not going to add any trees along the horizon line because I like the bluffs the way they are. But what I am going to do is take some Van Dyke brown and a little bit of the Purely Pigments gold and one of these little silicone tools and see what I can do, making this nice green thing into a tree. It doesn't have to be too wild, it just has to be a tree, which means putting some branches up into the canopy, which seems to be working okay. I might have to use a Q-tip to thin down my branches, but that does work quite nicely, in fact. Trying to remember to spit on your Q-tip first because it makes it a lot easier to control the paint. So this is going to come all the way down here, and then I'm going to grab and dab and make a little forest out of these other trees. And I think, I'm still pretty sure I'm going to try and add a few dots of Fandango and or Triple Sec. I don't want to get too elaborate because I really like what I've got. And the little silicone tool is working quite nicely. I'm not too worried about going all the way back. And I did think about using a moistened Q-tip to add some paint color in the canopy. And I don't think it has to be too realistic. I really don't. There is something kind of bothering me though. This little thing here is weird. It's like a snake hanging off a rock. I just want to sort of mute it a little bit. No, not highlight it. Okay, never mind. We'll leave that alone for right now. So I've got some Purely Pigments Chartreuse, which in my experience so far over a darker color really doesn't show up all that well because it's nice and pale. This is the Triple Sec. Oh, I found the cap I was missing. And I know just where that goes too. Same thing with the Triple Sec. But I know from experience that the Fandango will cover things. So hopefully one, if not all of these things will be impactful. I don't mind if there's a little brown in my That's cool. I picked up from the center. I don't know if I can do it again. Probably all disappear anyway. But that's my tree. I'll just try some of the Fandango. Maybe along the top edge. Brushes just absorb too much color, and as I'm saying that it sounds ridiculous because a Q-tip is obviously going to do something similar. I'm just going to lighten up the dark, although I really like the drama of the dark. And I might regret it, but I really love this whole thing right here. And it might not be such a bad thing if the green doesn't show up a lot. Which I'm pretty sure it won't, if I recall correctly. Don't know how much risk I want to take. So I tried my sky out digitally, and I got so overly involved there's no way I could possibly reproduce what I did with paint. But I might be interested in trying something, which will start with the periwinkle. And I think my tree is enough of a tree, except for I see a little gap there. My tree in the foreground needs a branch, or two maybe. Or three. They probably will hardly show up, but subtlety is good at this point. I just want to use this Van Dyke brown to camouflage that one spot that I'm having a hard time with. It just takes my attention away every time. So I'll make it a rock or something. I don't think anybody will know. If you don't tell them, nobody will know. I love working on a dry painting because I can remove things. I hope that wasn't too much, but I gotta remember to not get overly affected. Alright, let's try a little bit of the Vivid Intense White again, and maybe my smaller spatula. I've got wet paper towels standing by, so if I panic I can get rid of it. That's periwinkle, and it's not as dark as anything else. I think I'm going to turn this all sideways. More periwinkle. Lots more periwinkle. I feel like I'm going to wish for darker colors. It's funny, you know, if you get an impedance like that was, it just winds up so often right in the middle. And my spatula evidently has something on it. I'm just going to keep putting white on the canvasy spots and hope somehow things work out the way I want them to. And I think they will. I mean, I'm really hopeful anyway. I have a tendency, before I'm done with the canvas on the first day of the sky, to want the edges to be covered, and when they're not, I stick my fingers in there, and that's a mistake. I don't recommend it, because you get fingerprints, glop, and there's no way to really rectify it unless you're going to do what I just did, which was add a whole nother second layer, which is really okay, as long as, as far as I'm concerned, as long as I don't leave too many spatula marks. And this this combination of Vivid Intense White with the clear, which I need to get some more of, that I accidentally added to it, is sort of like adding water to watercolor, or a little bit like alcohol ink, from what I recall. It's been a while. But you can see it's fairly see-through, and it makes a nice layered effect. And now I'm so close to being done. I want something down here though. I don't think Periwinkle can hurt anything. Such an awesome color. Obviously one of my favorites. Now I could go nuts and add more magenta or something to the sky, but I love the landscape so much that if I make the sky even more dramatic, it's just going to take away from the other thing. Part of me wants to put little white clouds along the horizon, but I think we're done. It wasn't a lot, but it helped get rid of what was bothering me to a degree. Or maybe just learn to accept it the way it is. If I want to do something to my edges, I will do it to it after. Oftentimes I will say that things need to have frames on them. So I have 34 playlists. Close all. I have 34 playlists with 100 videos on them each. Or I will as soon as I do the editing I have to do to prove that. This shimmers nicely. I don't think I'm going to change this tree much. I like the little dabs and dots. And this colored green is already fading out. And the gold from Colourarte and the gold that was Decor Art together worked very nicely. So I love you guys. I want you to take care of each other, take care of yourselves. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And when you watch the video all the way through, it's a big assistance to me. I give lessons at the house in Springville, Florida. I do sell my artwork. My email address is easpb and the word gallery spelled out @gmail.com. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. I just said I sell my artwork. On my link tree, you're going to find a coupon code for Colourarte between 5 and 10% off, depending on when this gets published, I guess. There's also a 10% off pixel paint designs for Australian Floetrol, Boom Gel, Pebeo paints, and everything else they carry. On my link tree, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links. Everything that I create can be added to the merchandise that's sold at any of the links you'll find on my link tree, including Spring under the video, and Pixels.com, Fire in America, Society 6, and The Gallerist. My community board will show you tomorrow's video if there is one. Questions are welcome and encouraged. Thank you to everybody who shops my Amazon link, and you can find my 2 books there, Because I Can and Unlimited Possibilities. The first and the second 100 videos I made about about paint pouring for YouTube. Thank you guys for your kind words and your comments. You keep my morale boosted. I really, really appreciate your kind gestures. And thank you to my members for keeping my channel alive. And thank you to anyone and everyone who can afford to donate through PayPal or Patreon. You help me buy art supplies so I can keep bringing tutorials. I love you guys. You inspire me always. Bye for now. Priscilla out. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves.